are talking about corporal punishment.
That's right. While many of us, yes, know of all those horror stories in the Philippines, how, you know, the common household item, the chinelas, the hanger, cinturon, they become disciplinary tools. Here in the United States, the spank alone can be deemed illegal.
Are children really equal holders of human rights within the household?
A child's always going to be influenced from the people around them. So definitely, even as a parent, all you really need to do is display love to them and not fear or spanking. And that's exactly what spanking does.
The law does permit age-appropriate, reasonable spanking to the buttocks where there is no evidence of serious physical injury.
But the law always changes.
Our standard for morality is what the Bible says.
Okay.
And so in the whole
the
discussion, we need to get back to what God says in His Word. That's the standard.
He is the principal, and he actually spanks the kids that misbehave. Is that
You
correct?
personally spank them.
I spank the boys, and one of our ladies spanks the girls in the office.
And they get spanked for things like cheating with their tests,
What's the
lying.
smallest?
Multiple studies have shown that it is not only ineffective, but harmful.
Well,
It causes people to spank more and do more antisocial behavior.
You've tried everything, but your kid is still acting up.
Alexander, that's enough!
Then why not try some time out?
Spanking make the person realize the discipline.
I used to work at a shelter, a homeless shelter for Asian women and children, and a lot of Filipinos were there. And the reason why is because of domestic violence. And really, this really just opens the floodgates for domestic violence, abuse, and neglect. Actually, we are. We are.
No, we're not talking about
this is what we're talking
domestic
about.
Violence, if you look at it in the dictionary, is an act intended to cause physical harm or injury. That's something that requires medical attention. Spanking is not violent.
It's okay because a principal did this to me, or it's okay because a parent did this to me. And so now I think it's going to be okay, and I'm going to go and spank someone else.
I don't see a situation where parents are lovingly disciplining their children by using spanking escalating into child abuse. I don't see that.
There was this young child, she was only 5 years old, and it started out, the father was just spanking her on the buttocks, but then he just started becoming angry as time went on, and it was so normal for him that he would just start beating her.
We somehow built the greatest, most powerful nation in the world by parents who were spanked, and today we have a situation where we have cops with guns in the high schools.
That's why we've got a lack of respect in society, is because there's a lack of biblical spanking.
Is there a proper way to spank? I mean, could you show us an example of the correct way to spank a child? Yeah, for example.
Say that you're my son, okay? And I would say, okay, JC, say that you're at home, and I said, JC, go make your bed, and you said, no. The point is that we need to break the will. So we have to spank hard enough to break the will.
Is it going to hurt?
It should hurt, absolutely.
Don't remember.
Oh!
Daddy, I make my bed now.
I want him not to do the disobedience again. I want him to be instructed.
Exactly.
And the Bible says that, the rod and reproof.
I don't remember the discipline or why they did it or why I wasn't supposed to do it, but it's the fear that it's inside right
That's
now.
what I'm saying.
To get my attention, he will drop and hit his head.
Wow.
I went close to him and I kick him.
Wow.
Kick him in the buttock.
It's about human rights. Children are human too.
Absolutely.
And they need to be given as much rights as all the other adults in the past.
If a child doesn't understand what he's supposed to do, that doesn't mean that he was rebelling against your direction. It just means that he needs to be re-explained what to do. But when a child purposefully says, I will not do what you say, that's the time that he needs to be spanked.
I still for corporal punishment. To me, it works. It's a tradition in the Philippines, especially in the Philippines. It does work.
Corporal punishment is wrong. It needs to be outbanned everywhere, including in the United States. It just really makes people more in fear of their parents, and we really have to show our children love.
Reasonable and age-appropriate spanking to the buttocks is allowed by law and should be a tool allowed to all parents. The state should not tell us that we can't use that tool. It should be up to the individual parent. If you disagree with spanking, then don't spank. If you agree with spanking and keep it within those bounds, you should have that right.
We should seek other non-physical options in disciplining our children. I think that's the most effective way.
Discipline means to teach, and so there are much more effective ways in order to correct misbehavior in our children rather than physical pain.
Be heard, stand up, and speak out.